Hey everyone, welcome to the VRaaS Cast Live number 10, brought to you by Austin VR Lab. As always, my name is Mohammed. I'm here to take you through the wonderful world of virtual reality, brought to you here by Austin VR Lab. I don't know if you can see it through the mic stand there. Austin VR Lab is the VRaaS company, and we wanted to bring you this VRaaS cast live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Not really sure about this Friday because it is Christmas, and so we're gonna try to get in here and get in the studio and maybe do a little racing. But for today, December 23rd, Wednesday, today is Austin VR Lab Project Day. So, what is VRaaS? Well, VRaaS is a term we've coined and it stands for Virtual Reality as a Service. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have heard the term SaaS, Software as a Service. VRaaS is kind of like a play on that, and it's to bring virtual reality to the arts and industry. While we're waiting on everyone to join in here and jump in the chat, one of the reasons we like to do this live is because we want to interact and engage with the audience. So as people are coming in, go ahead and smash that like button. Go ahead and drop a comment to let us know you're here and let us know you're watching. And of course, most importantly, interact with us. Ask us questions, give us feedback. I do want to thank everyone for joining us. We're excited to be here. Do need to fix a little lighting issue, so hang with me 1 second. Got to turn the awesome. Thanks for hanging with me, guys. I and ladies. I assume that there are ladies here too, and we want to include everyone. So no matter what you are, always welcome at Austin VR Lab. And that's one of the great things about virtual reality is we are gender neutral. All right. So Austin VR Lab. So we decided to set out to create a virtual reality service company. So VR as a service, hence the name VRaaS Cast Live. Now, our primary purpose and goal with Austin VR Lab was to bring virtual reality to as many people as possible, especially in the two areas where we're focused mostly, and that would be in the arts and in industry. And Austin VR Lab, we aim to accomplish this in three ways, really. One is providing access and facilitation to hardware. One of the things that we found that there is a huge void is, of course, people can order and get virtual reality systems, but the virtual reality systems, there's just so many possibilities, so many different types of headsets and hardware and RAM and graphics cards that it really, it takes some learning and it takes some research to realize what is the best version of virtual reality to suit your needs, especially if you're going to be using virtual reality in your business. You want to buy what's, of course, most up to date, and you want to have what's most up to date in your lab, but you also don't want to become outdated, overspend, spend too much. And so you want to be able to accomplish what your virtual reality goals are and match the right hardware to that. And that's kind of where Austin VR Lab steps in and helps you find the right path. The second way we want to help bring VR to the world is by developing production of content creation, content curation, and distribution. So, helping businesses create their own virtual reality content, curating content of all different creators out there, and then helping distribute that content through the different forms of hardware, the different websites and online portals and apps that you can distribute your virtual reality content through, and how to get to the audience you intend to get to and you want to deliver your content to, because that's very important. And then the most important part of Austin VR Lab is the continued support, management, and training, whether it's training your staff or training people who are your customers or clients how to use the VR technology that we're starting to implement, and then managing the content, managing the hardware, and helping continue support to your VR lab. And so that's a little bit about Austin VR Lab. That's why we created VRaaS, Virtual Reality as a Service. And one of the reasons we wanted to do the VRaaS Cast Live was to bring you the latest and greatest in virtual reality. So Mondays we do a VR news day. For those of you who've been tuned in, already know that. On Wednesdays we do a virtual Austin VR Lab virtual reality production. Like, what are some things that we're doing here at Austin VR Lab with our clients, whether it's for ourselves, but how we are marketing and using VR in the arts and in industry. And then of course, Friday we actually get into some 6 degrees of freedom virtual reality where we get into VR, whether we are reviewing a new program, whether we are just playing a game, or whether we're flying around the world in Google Earth and exploring and just really showing you the VR space and what it takes to get in and what it's like once you're in it. So that's a little bit about what we do. Welcome everybody who's joining us. Be sure to like, definitely comment, show us that you're here, ask us a question. We would love to answer it. Wow, that's a really cool background. So I'm wearing the see-through jacket today, so you can kind of, on the green screen. That's why I had that little lighting issue earlier. I wanted to make sure you got the full green screen effect and everything looked perfect. And so that's some of the troubleshooting that even Austin VR Lab provides on site for our clients, right? So you never know when there could be an issue with your VR systems or with your content, and you need to have someone on site. So that was a little, you know, plug on how quickly we operate and how we're able to jump in and fix problems as they occur. Again, so many possibilities with virtual reality in one solution. So today, what we are talking about is virtual reality and 360 capture. It's kind of how we started out, how we first brought a virtual reality mixtape to YouTube with music videos that were filmed in 360 and, kind of created an album. We call it the first ever virtual reality mixtape. So it was 5 videos back to back to back. It's called Hall and Dopes 360, produced by Rock Sampson and performed and written by our good friend Kenny Richardson. And so if you haven't checked that out, you can definitely check it out on our YouTube page. So let's go ahead and head on over to our YouTube page and we'll kind of show you how to get familiar with it here. Awesome. And big shout out to Andre here in the studio with us today.
Hey guys, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in.
And Andre's here to provide me some backup in case I ever need help, or if I need him to look something up for me, or if I need him to help me with sound or lighting. So if you ever hear me ask Andre a question, that's Andre. Just
Yeah.
wanted you to be familiar with him, so I'm not talking to my imaginary friend Andre. There's
Yeah.
really one in the studio.
Yep.
Awesome. Cool. So, Austin VR Lab, welcome to our YouTube page. So, what you can find here is, of course, a host of all of our videos that we've captured. Now, if you want to know about like specifics of our business, so here you can go to the playlist. You can see our liked videos. You can see our activations, what our activations and exhibitions look like. You can see the Holland Dubs mixtape, which was, one of the it was the first virtual reality mixtape ever posted. And then we also curate music videos. We curate VR experiences that you can do in 360 and that you can actually, where you take your phone and put it into a Google Cardboard or into an Austin VR Lab headset even. If you haven't seen the Austin VR Lab VRaaScast about mobile headsets and mobile virtual reality, definitely go back and check that out. I believe it was the VRaaScast Live number 3 that we did. And so go back and check that out, and you can actually see how you can take what we're about to do into the next level, and where you can play it on your phone and then put your phone into a 360 Google Cardboard headset and put a VR headset on your face and really experience these videos in 360. So cool. So let's go and let's take a quick look at the Holland Dopes 360 mixtape. Again, here they are, 5 videos back to back to back. One thing you always want to be sure to do is turn up the settings so you can get the full view. So this was actually captured on one of the first 360 cameras that we got our hands on. That's We were in the mosh pit there with Chino from Deftones, great memory. And so that's another great thing that 360 capture really brings, is these memories. It brings them around full circle, so you get the full 360-degree view of being in a space. And then we can do so many things with these 360 cameras. So one of the things that we did with this mixtape is we wanted to tie everything together with light and lasers. So as you're moving around, what do we do with an area that maybe no one is viewing? So we tied that area together with a laser. Oh, go back here. Sorry, hit the back button. So this is in the trunk of my car with Kenny. This is where we drove around South by Southwest, and he performed out of the back of our car. We attached the camera to the roof of the car there, and as you can see, there are the lasers attached there, staring at the ceiling. And there is, let's rotate that back around, and there is Kenny performing his mixtape live. So this was South by 2016. This was so much fun to shoot. It was so much fun to hang out with Kenny and record this mixtape for him. There's Jason showing him live previews of the 360. Definitely Kenny has great music, so be sure to go and check this out. Even though it's back from 2016, still is relevant today in 2020. Great to recap these and take another look at them. Let's go ahead again. Turn that up. And so this is another video that we did in the studio, recording with Kenny and recording some of his tracks and following him along and time-lapsing it. And this was really our first attempt at editing a 360 video. And so I'm really glad to be able to show this to you. A lot of times people ask us, well, what kind of cameras do you use? And one of the ways to best describe it is, it doesn't matter if you're shooting with a GoPro camera or you're shooting with a Red camera. I mean, of course, quality matters, but the real technique is in editing. Whether you are editing on just a regular video or if you're editing 360 video, your editing flow has to flow, and it has to sync up with the music, it has to sync up with the audio, and your transitions have to be smooth. Again, this is one of our first attempts that you're looking at here. So that is really what we were playing with here. See, again, tied with lasers at the bottom whenever you look down. Snowboarding with Jason. Snow skating over here. So this is where they're going down the mountain at about like 30, 40 miles an hour and not even strapped in. They are just on a board, I forget how that board is even skating on the mountain, but great, flying through the trees here. Jason's getting risky with it. But yeah, great run. Definitely do this one in 360. It's absolutely phenomenal. And then this last music video, when we wrapped the lasers here, it was really cool because it kind of looks very Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, when we took that multicolored laser. So this was a fashion show that we did for Bad John Paul. Critchy Critch is there, in case you know who Critchy is. He was there with us, and so we were able to do a fashion show, park the camera at the end of the runway, and as all the models showed up towards the end of the runway, you can see all the people there. You got a 360 view of this event. Awesome. So we'll go ahead and shut that down for now. Awesome. So another fun, crazy experience that we had. Jason took the camera and we went out, and there in Austin, there's this thing called Cars and Coffee. It's out at the Dakota Track. If you've ever been, it is an awesome experience. Super fun. And I always forget. Andre's here to give me a heads
Mm.
up if anyone's chatting, but I don't. Just want to
Okay,
make
we got
sure that we are staying up to date on that. Okay, so back to the video here. So Jason's sitting here in the 360 camera in a Ferrari 458, headed out to Cars and Coffee here in Austin. Of course, this was pre-COVID, so that's why there's no mask, and that's why there still is a Cars and Coffee. Really looking
Mhm.
forward to them bringing this back. So we got to hang out with Elite Car Club of Austin and drive out to the Coda track. So this is the target top on the spider top. I forgot what this top is called, but it's a convertible 458 Ferrari. So he's able to, you can actually zoom in there. You can see the speed. You can really get all the details up close and personal with this for in this Ferrari. And so it really gives you that feeling of being in the Ferrari, but also, every moment wasn't, the greatest moment. So we had to tie those moments together and edit the video. And as we're editing here, it jumps to different moments and different points in time and really having smooth transitions. But we got some great feedback here of being in the car, really looking at being able to see what it's like at Cars and Coffee, rolling in. So great experience. Definitely check that out if you get a chance. And another video I have lined up here. So this is a combination of 360 photography, 360 video, and VR tilt brush. It's painting in VR. We will have some artists coming in to do some awesome tilt brushes for us. The one here that we're going to see is actually my creation. This is a picture of me and my wife on our hotel balcony on our honeymoon. So I was able to take this 360 picture and capture this 360 moment, load it into tilt brush. Let me up the quality here. Awesome. So load it into tilt brush, paint on it. It was a beautiful full moon. You can see the Capitol there in the back. You can see the UT Tower there. Great view. But then we were able to draw on it and paint on the picture in VR and really capture this moment and create a 360 video from it. So really, really liked how this turned out. Some of my 360 artwork there for you. Awesome. So, what about live sporting events? Capturing a 360 moment that's happening live. This is one that we got to enjoy with Tiger Woods at Dell Match Play in 2019. We were standing there on the 14th hole. There you have the 360 bridge in the background, and no one knew it yet, but Tiger is about to hold this in from about 120 yards out. Shot is up. There's everyone waiting for it. Hits the green and into the hole. You get the whole celebration. The sound on this one is definitely great. So definitely go in and check that out. But really get the whole moment, right? And so we got to see the moment from every angle, but then you can back it up. And you can see Tiger watch a shot, give his classic uh fist punch in the air. And so, that shot right there, you can switch it around. 360 bridge, the Pennybacker Bridge. Funny story about the Pennybacker Bridge. Andre learned what the Pennybacker Bridge was last week. He's been in Austin for 8 years and somehow
Yeah.
missed it.
No.
So if you caught our Google Earth, where Andre was going into VR and flying around the world, I kind of had him go to the Pennybacker Bridge. He's like, "Where's the Pennybacker
Yeah, I
Bridge?
have
What
no
is that?"
idea.
And so we were able to show that to him. Maybe one day we'll actually go there together. Um, but yeah, again, great moment, great live sports moment caught in VR of Tiger Woods, Dell Match Play, holding it in. Um, here is an example of filming a concert. This is one we did for a band called Slightly Stupid. We'll turn the quality up there. Let's go ahead and make this one full screen. So this is with Slightly Stupid, Irritation, J Boog, and the Movement. And this was at Whitewater in New Braunfels, Whitewater Amphitheater. And this is really, gives you that feeling of being on stage, side stage with the band. There's everyone backstage. You're closer than sitting in the front row or standing in the front row, and really get to experience the band live. And we can actually capture these 360 moments and stream them live for you. Really cool way to enjoy a concert. Definitely excited about doing some more of these and creating that concert experience for, post COVID, I guess is what we can call it, times. But these 360 moments that we've captured are absolutely priceless. Now, what if we take a video that already exists and how do we make that 360? So we worked with a company called Artemis Capital Management. They had a video of showing how volatility trading has affected the market over the years. So we were able to take that video and reformat it for 360 capture. And so we'll go past some of these the intro portion, but we're still able to drag our mouse around, see the moment in 360. And this is one where we were able to take the video to the conference, put people in the headset, and then they were able to enter this video in 360 degrees and virtual reality. And it gives it a 3D effect, as you can see there. So these are all the data points coming in, and then we'll go ahead and skip forward here. And these are how all the data points were affecting the market in volatility trading. So it gives you some news updates, and as the news was coming in, this is how the data for how this company tracked data and how they were able to predict markets and the volatility of the stock market. And so this was able to actually take people who work with these data points all day when we did this conference, and they're like, they work with these numbers, but this was a way to immerse them in what they do. And it definitely is mind blowing when you're in it. And so it's a way to track those data points, tie them all together, and really immerse yourself in the content. And that's really what 360 content and VR content is all about, is how can we provide an immersive experience where it brings you into an environment, into something as simple or as complex as data points on a graph, and how to bring them in VR and in 360 and 360 degrees. Now, kind of want to show you what one of these videos looks like when it's flattened out. So when the 360 metadata has not been injected, we'll go back to that snowboarding video called Take Notes that you were watching when we were talking about the editing earlier, about them snow skating down the mountain. So this is what that video looks like in 360. You can see the top and the bottom are warped, and that's what creates the wrapping motion. The back of the video, the front of the video, and usually when we're editing, we're having to edit in this mode to figure out what's the best way to show the video, but then also what's the best angle to keep center and keep focus. So a lot of 360 video editing definitely comes down to being able to see it in this picture mode and being able to visualize what that's going to look like wrapped around the audience. And so as you can see here, the trees get warped and wrapped around. And so it's definitely a whole new way of editing videos and a whole new way of tying them together, and definitely take some practice and some work. So of course, we love everybody to get in and try it themselves, but if you really want us to do the hard part for you, Austin VR Lab would definitely be the place to go for that service to help you edit any 360 content that you wanted to edit. Now, next up here, we want to show you our Instagram. So we do something fun on our Instagram. If you visited our Instagram, what we can do is we can take these 360 pictures and wrap them around. Let's take a look at this one. Kind of gives you an example. So here's the 360 picture. We're able to photo manipulate that picture and wrap it around and create this thing called a tiny planet. So when you're looking at our Instagram, because Instagram doesn't natively support 360, you can look at our tiny planet. So that's where we like to upload a lot of our tiny planet work. Here's one of Jason and I in Washington, D.C. at the Capitol, doing some work for some cybersecurity firms there. Jason's touching the light. Awesome. I love that video. Cool. And then here's some great. Jason's great at taking 360 photos and really getting
Wow,
creative with them. This is one he did of an extended exposure of some 360 lights.
that's crazy.
Here's a 360 planet at tiny planet at the pumpkin patch. Like to mix it up. Here's one. This one's called Bullet Time. This is where we swing the 360 camera. This is on a catamaran in the Sea of Cortez, but as you swing the 360 camera, we're able to grab the whole scene and the whole picture. Definitely a fun video to make with 360 footage. Another favorite one of mine is Jason did this Bullet Time in Oregon, uh, down by the river. I don't know what river or creek that is. We should definitely get the name of it. But he was able to take that camera and swing it around and capture everything in 360 degrees, and kind of swing you around in a point in space and time. Awesome. I'll show you one more 360 favorite of mine, or maybe a couple more. So this one was at Burning Man. Our friend Zenti Music was out there at Burning Man, took the 360 camera with him. Great story about Burning Man and the 360 camera. So we sent Zenti does so many awesome shots and videos for us, but we sent him out to Burning Man with the camera because we couldn't all go. And on the last day during the burn, he set the camera down, the 360 camera, and left it.
Oh, oh, whoa,
And
whoa.
so, after contacting Burning Man, searching the lost and found, they actually found our camera. Someone turned it in, and Burning Man actually mailed it back to us. That's why we were able to get this awesome shot and post it on our Instagram. But we were, so thankful for that community and how
Mm,
honest that community is to be able to send us our 360 camera back. So again, great moment, great 360 moment, great virtual reality moment. But these are all, you can scan through them, videos and photos that we have been able to take over the years of in virtual reality with our 360 cameras and wrap them into tiny planets. A lot of our clients love to use these tiny planets as content for their websites and for their Instagrams. Definitely is eye catching. And here's my favorite. This is the one of me and my wife at the Louvre in Paris. Great moment. So glad we were able to capture this moment and we have it forever now. Tiny planets are so much fun. We can actually inverse them too. Here is an inverse of the world wrapped in on itself with the sky in the middle at a music festival that we were presenting virtual reality at for a company called Bass Fest. So that's a little bit about our 360 capture projects here at Austin VR Lab. Remember, we are the VRaaS company, virtual reality as a service. This was the VRaaScast Live number 10. So glad you were able to join us. So glad we were able to go through some of those videos and experiences and, kind of have a blast from the past there and remembering all the cool things that we've been able to do at Austin VR Lab. And I want to thank you again for joining us. And we love to do these. Remember, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we like to bring you something new and great in virtual reality, whether it's through VR news, something that we're doing, or even hopping in live here. Andre likes to hop into virtual reality, and we like to follow him around and come up with a virtual reality project. So until we see you again in the future, signing off. Thanks for having us.
take care, everybody. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Cool.